Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and such. We have two types of distribution partners. We have white label partners and we have affiliates. And of course, some people can be both. Today, we're going to focus more on our white label partners because we're rolling out some enhanced benefits that is exclusively available to our white label partners. We had an investor meeting with our investors in Houston, technically the Woodlands, Texas, over the weekend on Saturday. And so part of what I was asked to bring to each of you today and will be implementing is enhanced benefits for our white label partners to better assist them in, frankly, helping more clients and making more money. So that is our discussion today. So you can see on the screen, if all's going well, that I've shared with you the agenda, white label partner expanded resources and compliance discussion. So we have three new resources that aren't technically new resources, but now they're new in the sense that they're going to be free to the white label partners. They're not free to affiliates, but of course, if you're an affiliate and you'd like to become a white label partner, then you could get these for free as well. So as it states, to provide additional value to our white label partners, we're adding three new free benefits to assist in their growth and profitability. The first of which is the landing page. So let's talk about this a bit. What we know from our experience is that regardless if you're an affiliate or a white label partner, if you have a landing page that succinctly conveys the message of the proposition, allows people to very easily submit themselves as a lead and accept terms and conditions, the conversion rates are much higher. So we provide a free landing page already to all of our affiliates. We hadn't offered that free to the white label partners in the past. You might say, well, why in the world would that be? Why would you offer something free to the affiliates but not to the white label partners? Here's the reason. Affiliates just refer in to us and the clients are contracting with us under our contractual terms, our pricing, our agreements. Much different with white label partners. White label partners control the contractual terms and pricing. Thus, each white label agreement is different. It's distinct. It's not replicated. So in the past, white label partners, if they wanted us to develop a landing page for them, we charged them for it, just our cost, not a big markup. But now we're going to give it to the white label partners for free. Why? Because number one, we're wanting to enhance the benefits that we offer white label partners so they can help more people make more money. And then secondly, we know it's so valuable, not mission critical, but so valuable to have a landing page. So the first new free white label resource effective today, March 20th, 2023, is we'll provide white label partners a free landing page. In the past, they had to pay for that. Secondly, instead of hunting around for leads, and we have all different types of distribution partners. We have some that have their own flow of leads and lead generation is the least of their concerns, like Dan. Dan's on here, and Dan will probably generate, I don't know, dozens of deals each month just from his own organic flow. But then we have other white label partners, great people, but they really don't have a current system for generating leads. And so we've had many different trainings and talk about different ways to generate leads. But for our white label partners now, we're going to start to provide free leads just to make it even easier for them. So that is the second of the three new benefits. I'm probably most excited about the third. And so instead of just providing the landing page and the leads, we will actually pay for a virtual assistant to call those leads, which are here, and to schedule a call with the white label partner, or direct them to their landing page, depending upon what call to action that the white label partner wants. So again, for those of you coming on late, we had, welcome to the call, of course, but we had an investor meeting in Houston, technically the Woodlands, on Saturday. Investors decided that they wanted to do more for our white label partners. And so we're rolling out today, and this is available to all current white label partners as well as futures. So don't feel like that that you're exempt if you had already signed up. We're going to provide white label partners a free landing page, free leads, and a free virtual assistant. Now, for some of you, again, like Dan, you have more sophisticated shops. This is going to be less of a perk to you. But many of our white label partners are kind of solo operators. And so for them to have this additional package of benefit, which are free, as stated, free, will be, I think, very helpful. Any questions anyone has on these 3 new free benefits for white label partners before I move on down the page? Because there's more to talk about, but I'm excited about that. We know that our white label partners are a bit of a different breed. So when white label partners come aboard, they're looking to be actively involved. Now, I don't mean full-time, but actively involved, that they don't just dabble. Affiliates could just dabble, but white label partners, they're coming in, and we're after an initial 30-day grace period, we're focused on helping at least 2 clients a week, 8 a month. And if you do the math on that, that's a significant income to the white label partner. So white label partners are more involved, their income is higher, and now we're providing some additional perks to help them reach those numbers. Now, there's other assistance and support that we've had available, so let's go through that as well, just to make sure that all of you are aware of that. Well, just as we're on right now, we have daily Zoom trainings. We have them most weekday mornings. Once in a while, travel or other issues will get in the way, but most weekday mornings, 8 o'clock Central, we record these, in most cases, post them to our YouTube channel, which you can listen to afterwards. But this is where we're addressing the topics and concerns and issues that we hear from the field. And then, of course, you can ask questions. Not a good time to ask client-specific questions. That instead would be through our weekly one-on-one calls. We don't require, but we ask all of our white label partners to schedule a weekly call. So that way we can go through every one of their clients. Okay, what's the client status? Is the client happy? What do we need to do to get the client ready for funding? How does your funnel look? Do you need help with your funnel? And of course, now we'll have even more to discuss with these new 3 benefits. So that's the second element of support for white label partners. And then, of course, phone and text on demand. As I rolled out above, the 3 new benefits, and then each of our white label partners receive a Dropbox with files and resources. And Dan, again, you should have received yours yesterday if you can confirm that. So we add, it varies. Some days we'll add 1 new white label partner. Some days we'll add 10 or 15. But for each white label partner, we'll send them an onboarding email. We'll set up their white label partner Dropbox and populate it with the files. Okay, so we've addressed so far the 3 new resources that we're providing white label partners. We've kind of recapped and reviewed the breadth of the support model. Let's move on. Now, as we mentioned, when a white label partner comes aboard, there's a commitment. And that commitment is that we're going to provide training and support and provide, I guess you would say, the opportunity to be able to make a lot of income. And the white label partners are agreeing to, after a 30-day grace period, to be active. So there is a license fee, and so that's important. I think all of you know it. When you sign up as a white label partner, you'll see in the white label partner license agreement, there is a license fee. We used to charge people that license fee up front. And then as time went along, we really didn't need that income. We wanted to grow our white label partnership team even quicker and larger. So we said, hey, you know what? We'll defer it. You don't need to pay the license fee to be a white label partner. We'll defer it. Now you need to come in and get active, but we'll defer it. We'll defer it perpetually. So that's what where we're at here. White label partners are able to enroll and defer their license fee. So there's no upfront cost to enroll as a white label partner. And as long as you plug in and remain active, then the license fee never becomes due. And that's what we're talking about here. To avoid being responsible for the license fee, white label partners should comply with their production expectations, as I mentioned earlier in the discussion. After an initial 30-day grace period, we should be helping at least 2 clients per week. Now, every once in a while, we'll get asked, well, why is that? Why 2 clients per week? Well, we're putting time, energy, intellectual capital, resources into training and supporting our white label partners. And so, frankly, it would be fair for them to pay for that. But we don't want them to pay for that. We just want them to plug in, get active, help people so we all make money. So after a 30-day grace period, the expectation is that we'll be helping at least 2 clients a week. That's a very modest expectation. Well, what happens if we don't? We'll talk about that a little bit more, but we should be able to hit that number easily, especially with now the free landing page, free leads, and free virtual assistant to call those leads for you. So what the first bullet states or restates, as I just verbally shared, is we don't want white label partners to pay a license fee. We really, really don't. So as long as they're actively participating, then we defer it perpetually. There is no cost for the license fee. It's pushed out. But we do have sometimes, you'd be surprised, sometimes we'll have white label partners that come aboard and then they don't do what they promised. So in that case, they are responsible for the license fee. It doesn't mean that it just went away or, oh, never mind. What we have been doing and continue to be willing to do is, let's say we have a white label partner that comes aboard and 30-day grace period comes and goes and they still don't have their legs under them. They're not producing yet, or there's whatever barriers. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We can give them, we can reset the grace period. And that's what this highlighted yellow says. If you need more time to ramp up production, what we can do is just split up the license fee. So the full license fee doesn't have to be paid. And then we'll reset the grace period, continue to provide the training and support, and help the individuals, help the white label partners get on track. So we always offer to defer the white label partner license fee, and it's deferred perpetually with production. If there's not production, then it comes due. Does that seem fair? Does that make sense to everyone? And again, that's all stated in the agreement, so there's no surprise. Now, I always hate to talk about the negative side, but let's go ahead and cover that. So what happens if we have a white label partner that doesn't comply? So in other words, they come aboard and they don't produce. Well, as I mentioned, we had our investor meeting on Saturday. And so our investors have instructed us, specifically me, to liquidate the defaulted white label partner license agreement. So what does that mean? So when a white label partner comes aboard, of course, we have a written agreement, and that's called a license agreement. A license agreement doesn't mean, it's not like a driver's license. It's not like a franchise, like you're buying a Domino's pizza. Franchises are very highly regulated and very highly structured, but a license agreement is something that provides some tools and resources and support and guidance in exchange for the ability to generate income. So hopefully that's not confusing to you. So again, we're going to have to do something with the white label partner license agreements that are not in good standing, and they're not going to be, they meaning the investors, aren't going to be patient anymore. So that's what we're talking about here. So if a white label partner's production falls below what's promised, what we'll do is send a notification out. And there were some notifications sent out over the weekend, even after that meeting. So it's not mean, it's just saying, hey, you signed up, you agreed to do certain things, it appears you're not doing it, let's resolve it, right? Let's resolve it. And the same thing we do with clients. When we have clients that sign up and they don't do what they promised to do, we ask, hey, let's resolve it. So the notification will be sent out and they'll be offered to resolve the license fee. And as I mentioned up here, there is the ability to reset the grace period and not have to pay the full license fee. So very, very friendly approach, I think. But ultimately, what we need to be aware of is if we have a white label partner that is not performing and they don't resolve it, then one of two scenarios is going to play out. And so we'll either sell that license agreement to a debt buyer, and you all know we're actively involved in buying and selling debt instruments. And so a defaulted license agreement is an asset that can be sold. And so we'll sell it. We may sell it, I should say, to a debt buyer who will then deal with it. Or we might submit it for litigation. The litigation, our approach is a little bit different because there's never a trial. So when we have a breach, we file the petition with the court issues a citation, and the way that we approach it is we just go immediately into what's called a confession of judgment or a summary judgment. There's no reason for a trial because we submit a sworn statement, a sworn affidavit to say, okay, the person signed this agreement, they promised to perform, they didn't perform, they owe the license fee, they've not paid the license fee, and we have the records to prove it. It's a little bit different than that, but that's a good synopsis. And so then by order of the court, then the judge must issue a summary judgment, which means the person now has lost the case. So I don't want what you to take away from our discussion today about being the negative, but we just did need to cover that because it's important, when we enter into relationships, contractual agreements, that both parties do what they say that they'll do. Of course, we're responsible for the white label partners to do what we promise to do, and we would ask them to do the same. And of course, you have our contact information as always. So let me make this a bit smaller and let's answer any questions that you have. All right, so Jeremy's asking, Jeremy is currently an affiliate. He's asking, should he become a white label partner? Well, that's up to you, Jeremy. So as a white label partner, you're going to have higher income potential, but more responsibilities. And so it's really an educated decision that you would need to make. Of course, we have some white label partners that are also affiliates, so they wear both hats. And it's up to you. You could be either, both, or of course, neither. Okay, thank you for that. Anyone else have questions on the new free resources that we're making available? All right, so Timothy is asking about the white label partner license fee. Can we finance it? Yes, not internally, but absolutely. We can assist the white label partner in applying for financing to be able to finance the license fee, which again, we don't want white label partners to pay the license fee, right? We've covered that. We want to defer it forever. Right? We don't want the white label partner to pay a license fee. We do not. But that's contingent upon them being active and participating and productive. But if they wanted to pay for it, they could, and we can set up financing for that, subject to approved credit. And of course, that's what you and I do with the credit and funding program, is we help people become credible enough for funding through the 3 C's. And so that isn't a problem. Good question, Timothy. Anyone else have questions? All right, Mary's asking how to plug in. Yeah, so if you're a white label partner and you don't have a landing page, if you're a white label partner and you want the free leads, if you're a white label partner and you want us to pay for, we pay for, not reimburse, not promise to reimburse, we pay for. If you want us to do those things, we're happy to do so. Just get with us, and you can email us, call us, text us. Email is probably best, and then we can work on implementation. Theoretically, what we'd love you to do is to be scheduling these weekly one-on-one calls, which we should be doing anyway. And then this could be one of the agenda topics that we discuss is, okay, let's get your landing page set up. Let's make sure you got plenty of free leads. And do you want some help in calling those leads? Thank you for that question. Anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns about the new resources for white label partners, or how white label partners are supported, or what white label partners are expected to do? Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns that we can help with? All right, so Sarah's asking a question that I did address earlier, but just to confirm. So yes, if you're currently a white label partner, you're eligible for this. This is not just for new white label partners coming aboard today and in the future. If you're currently a white label partner, this applies just the same. All right, Carrie's asking, how much do white label partners make? Well, that's a fair question. And the short answer is, I don't know, because the white label partners determine their own pricing. But white label partners are paid like affiliates in the sense that they're paid upfront as well as after the clients are funded. But how much the white label partners make is up to them, because the white label partners control the pricing. On average, white label partners are making about $1,000 to $1,500 upfront for each client when they enroll. And on average, white label partners are setting their performance fee at around 12%. We see some lower, some higher, but again, it's up to the white label partner. As a white label partner, we're doing a 50-50 split of that performance fee. So if the white label partner set the fee at 12%, then the white label partner is showing gross income equivalent to the 12%, net income to the 6%. But we have some white label partners that really mark it down all the way down to 6% performance fee. So then after the 50-50 split, it's 3 points each way. It's completely up to the white label partner. All right, Timothy's asking about the client agreement. Yeah, so if you go to your white label partner Dropbox, you'll see a bunch of resources there, including an editable version of the client agreement. So as a white label partner, you would take that editable agreement and edit it. So it's set up to be between you and the client with your preferred pricing and terms. And then we would need to get a copy of that, because we need to link that to your landing page, because we're going to set up your free landing page, and that's going to allow your prospects to accept your terms and conditions. But to accept your terms and conditions, we'll need to have a copy of it, because it's different than our terms and conditions, if that makes sense. All right. Anyone else have any questions or concerns regarding the new white label partner resources, the ongoing training and support, how the license fee works, why it is what it is, and then, of course, on the other side, what happens? And so if you are a white label partner and you're not compliant, we urge you to become compliant. Reach out. Let's resolve it. Let's help you be successful. Let's go out and help small businesses access capital, improve their financial literacy, and you should be able to make a lot of money from it. But don't think that, oh, I can just sign up as a white label partner and later just say, oh, never mind, and somehow that agreement doesn't exist. That's not the case. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Pleasure as always. Bye-bye.